What you are about to view or listen to is raw and unedited. Mike and Max's podcast takes you from the garage to the trail. Presented by Keep It Simple Offroad. Viewer discretion is advised.
This is the Mike and Max Offroad podcast.
That's what you do.
Hello. and this is when I cut the top off. This is going to be on the next episode.
Right.
And we're going to talk about spotters.
Welcome back. This is the Mike and Max Off-Road Podcast, episode many. I lost track.
Coming to you live.
I'm responsible. That's why I lost track.
From the garage, out of the garage to the trail.
I like it.
Right.
But have you been wheeling?
Oh, yeah.
Where?
Oh, man, I wheel everywhere, bro.
Whoa. Oh, to work?
Every time I do a U-turn.
Whoa. Oh, the steering wheel. You wheel the
No,
steering
man,
wheel.
I get off on the side of the road, dirt. You know,
Hell yeah.
I'm always
yeah.
wheeling. In my brain or on the
Right.
internet, actually, right now with 116 degrees, dude. I'm wheeling
Brutal.
the internet.
It's brutal. You're right.
Yeah. Especially for folks that work outside.
I think all of us probably do that. I like to look up stuff all the time. Lately I've been going through your YouTube channel a lot. Just to, I look up like the video from Predator. I like those videos.
Yeah.
And then it gives me other people's recommended stuff, and I like those videos too.
Nice. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
You can get into a whole vortex
Oh, yeah.
on YouTube,
A
dude.
deep.
Next thing you know,
deep
you're in
rabbit hole.
Mexican fights. I don't know why I always end up there.
Whoa.
And I swear it always ends up on like some weird Russian or Mexican channel. Russian drivers or Mexican fighters. I don't know what's going on.
Interesting.
But I'm up
Very
and I look over the
interesting.
clock. I'm like, midnight again? Damn.
See, I don't do that. I'm really good about. I like to go to sleep.
I like discipline so bad I had to put it on my arm to remind me.
I thought that said discipline.
Oh, really?
No. All right.
Come on.
Isn't that's from a movie, huh? It says no regrets.
No
Or-
regrets? Yeah.
but it's misspelled.
The Millers or something?
Yeah, and he's like, you sure?
You sure?
You sure you got no regrets?
And I miss
good, though.
not even a letter or something. What's really horrible, though, is I don't know why it's misspelled.
Oh, like if you look at the word,
Yeah.
you're like,
I don't know where it's messed up. That sucks.
That's awesome.
Hey, sorry about my voice today, but I took a huge whiff of chlorine, and it is it's
Nice.
pretty raspy, sort of.
You know, people don't get high off that. You
Dude.
shouldn't do that. It's
Dude.
like you gotta use weed
Oh, it
or
hurts.
medicinal plants.
No, not me.
You don't just suck a tube of
No,
chlor.
dude. But I can feel it as I'm talking louder. It's getting this like.
Wow.
I don't smoke, but it sounds like it. Okay.
So this week,
Yeah, dude. Some shit happened this week.
wow, I was busy at home, right? I was doing a ton of stuff around the house, all kinds of stuff. I took the best nap on the couch.
Yeah.
I woke up and I 100% knew I wanted to cut the rear quarter of the top off. From taking that nap, waking up, dude, I didn't even do anything. I put my shoes on. I walked in the garage because it was still fairly early in the day. It wasn't too hot. And I had already fixed the bushing, some other stuff we can get into.
Yeah.
So the Jeep was like perfectly backed in. It was only half in the garage, perfectly in the shade. And I knew I wanted to cut it off. So I got the Sawzall and I got a Sharpie, right? And I made some lines. And
Did you eyeball it?
oh, yeah.
You just
Hell
fuck yeah, bro. Yeah,
Dude,
that looks
there's
straight.
there's some super good lines if you look down the side of the Jeep.
Yeah.
And then, I just followed it around the curve and I put it right to the top of the pinch seam. I did start high. I only cut it once, but I did start high in case if I cut too low, I couldn't fix it, But if I start too high,
Yeah.
I can cut more off.
Yeah, right. You can't put it back. Well, you
So
can put it on. Just
it was a little tricky, dude. I used like a 8-inch blade on a Sawzall,
I was wondering if you try to get a big fat blade so it doesn't
Long.
wiggle as much.
long blade.
Yeah, but
that-
you know,
what is that?
no,
Fat?
like a fat one.
Uh-uh.
Oh,
I didn't even know they made different thicknesses blades because
Yeah.
I shop at Harbor Freight,
Oh.
and they only have one thickness, but
just
they come
peaked
in
all
many.
the audio.
They come in many lengths.
yeah, those blades suck, dude.
Dude, it did good.
Did they? Yeah, but
It did good.
That's funny. Yeah, the harder the blade, the more straight it stays. So that further away,
Yeah,
that stays in the
yeah.
same plane.
Once they hit something in the cab a couple times and buck out, then they get pretty wonky.
Huh?
But
Yeah,
dude,
it starts to
I
dull
got to
down.
town on it, man. I lined it up, and then I had zero hesitation, anything. I just fired it up, and dude, my Sharpie line was right there. I was like, what am I waiting for? I was like, whoa!
Right? You can only measure or look so much.
Yeah, once.
Just go for it.
Once.
You never heard measure twice, cut once?
I did cut once.
I know.
And I measured once. I beat that shit.
That's funny. So what did you actually do though?
That's it.
You hacked the whole back of the hatchback off.
Well,
the
first,
back roof off.
First, I did take the glass off the back, and
The people listening, I don't think we got to what you actually did. You cut the top off, but not the whole top.
I said it. I
Did
said
you?
that at first. Yeah.
Are you
The rear quarter of the roof.
Rear quarter.
So that like the hatchback portion of it, the very two rear windows got eliminated, and the rear hatch is gone.
And now, no regret.
No,
as we just
no
said.
regret.
Regret.
Regret. I don't know how they spelled it in that movie.
I don't even know.
No, and then I took it around the block because now it's driving good. All the issues from the previous week are fixed. That Johnny joint was so easy to repair. I don't know why, and it was brand new, and it fit very snug. I had to hammer it in with my dead blow.
Right.
But you know how like I have that big press tool that's laying around here somewhere. I didn't use any of it. I sprayed it down with that PB blaster. I did have to I had to work the melted one out. It was in there really bad. But the new one, I just threw the washer down in there, and then I had the center ball with the two rubber interlocking pieces and all sprayed and lubricated. I just hammered them in like 3 hard hits.
Right.
Dude, it sunk right in. And I put the clip on top. And I found a socket that sat on top of the metal washer, and I just hit it a couple times really hard.
And it stayed in there.
It stayed in there, which
That's
is
weird.
crazy. I've done it once before, and it was the biggest pain in my ass, which is why I lubed it so much.
Right.
Instead of using grease, I sprayed it with that. It's really a degreaser, I think. But
So do you think maybe those inserts are the wrong ones?
no. They were very snug for sure, because you know how they're in 2 pieces. Like the top one did want to separate a little bit, so
Right.
I know it's snug, and so I whacked that side down, and dude, 3 hard hits, it went down in there.
Then you
maybe
put that clip
5,
in.
I don't know.
Right.
But yeah, the clip was a little bit of a challenge, but because the last metal washer was a little bit too high, so I was able to get the clip basically along that outer rim. I don't even know what that clip's called, but it's a clip.
Like a C-clip thing, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
So I only got it flush, but not in the groove. But then I just took a flathead screwdriver and I just tapped the clip, and dude, the whole thing sunk just that hair more and clipped in, and I made sure all the edges were like, because I've had them come out, so now I tap them in further, deeper into that groove.
Right.
It was perfect.
Yeah. Then
It took 10 minutes.
yeah, you check it around, make sure it really gets in the groove. Sometimes you can even spin that clip a little to make sure.
No, it's pretty tight.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It was a little bit of pressure on it.
I've
but
never rebuilt one, but I mean I've seen it done
They're
on video.
cool.
so,
Pretty easy.
Yeah. I can't imagine it would stay in
Did I
there.
send you the photo of the melted one? It was.
Only while it was in.
Yeah, no, I have a photo of it out. I'll show you.
Yeah.
I'll show you later.
I'd like to see that for sure.
But
That's
it was
crazy.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, cutting the top. Then I took it out for a spin. I just went out of the neighborhood into this big shopping plaza down the street, and there's like these little kickouts where there's landscaping, but one had like a huge concrete thing in the middle, and that's where I pulled the Jeep up and I kind of flexed it a little. You can't flex it out.
In those pictures that you put on Instagram.
Yeah, Instagram.
That was very little flex. It's a curb.
And no, but it's a curb with a dirt mound with a concrete pad on top. It's like 3 curbs.
Okay.
So there's a little bit there, but my Jeep is just so big and cool. It doesn't make it look that big,
Right.
Yeah,
Right. It's big.
and cool.
Yeah, we got to be able to rag on each other there for a while. So,
But the flow through the cab,
Yeah.
it was so good. Like the air, I had my 2 front windows down. It just went straight out the back. It was like, it felt really, really good.
I was wondering what it was going to be like because when I rode with Steve in his Jeep,
Yep.
man, it kicked all the dirt would swirl back around and
Yep.
come in the cab.
Yep.
You afraid of that?
No, my Jeep did that before. It already, because the rear wheel wells are slightly open still.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
largely.
Right.
But it already does that. So now, you know how like SUVs and wagons, when they're fully stock with the plastics and everything, they have like a bar that goes across, and it's like a retractable mesh, and you can hide like your groceries.
Yeah.
I still have that from this Jeep, and now it's gonna tuck between the headrest and the tire, and I'm gonna pull it up instead of out, and it's gonna tuck between the roof and the cage and block air from coming in.
Right.
I just happened to come across it when I was cleaning up very little.
Yeah. No, that's cool. Yeah, because Steve has
But-
that sort of thing back there that sort of does the same
Yeah.
thing. You get a little bit around, but It's bulkhead is what it'd be called.
Oh yeah. It's a bulkhead enclosure.
Yeah.
Like a fabric.
They work good, man, for like keeping the warmth in.
Yeah.
You know, like even on my Jeep when I'm taking a trip that was really cold, I just wedged up the tops back there. Anything that would go back there to make that
anything
cab
to
smaller.
keep the ice cold air from hitting the back of your neck and your ears and to stop that wind flow.
Yeah.
You're right. Especially in the harsh winters we have here.
So are you gonna leave it, or are you really gonna finish it off?
Slowly, I'm gonna finish it off. Yeah. No. So now I got to make templates.
Right.
And I got to find some thin enough sheet metal, but not too thick, not too thin.
18 gauge.
18. Is that what you're? I still have a piece of sheet metal from you. Is that what that is?
That's 16.
Oh, so thinner.
Yeah. But if you made that big top cap like you were talking about, where it goes all the way to the roll cage,
yes,
you could use that so you could stand on there too.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's not a bad idea. You could use that gate. You could use that.
Do you need that back?
No. I mean, I will when I go to make the hood, but I don't need it. I mean, you'll have to buy
hood?
another set.
The hood?
Or whatever. I forget what I gave you.
That's a big piece.
I give you a 4x4, right?
It's something big. I don't know. I haven't used it at all. It's just sitting there.
No, it's just for my hood one day. That's what it is.
Okay.
So
I'll probably just go get some.
Yeah.
That way in the future, it's not like, hey, what's this? What's that? You know?
Right. Yeah, because you needed it. You wanted it for something. I forget. But.
I was going to make the straps to hold my gas tank down.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah. Hey, speaking of which, how's that gas tank held down?
Pretty securely.
Is it?
Yeah. It's multiple
bungees?
Ratchet straps.
Oh.
Multiple.
Hey, man, works on roadkill.
Not only does it have multiple ratchet straps, which are secured, they're screwed into the seat.
Right. You can keep going. Hey, I'm going to hit the camera.
Oh, they're screwed into where the seats screw in.
Right.
Then they're ratchet strapped. And when you push the seat back to lock, it actually pushes it out. And then the tire weight pushes it in. Because I was really worried about on the first couple trips. And it has never moved once at all.
That's cool.
But it's not the right thing yet, you know, like it really, I might cut a couple thin strips off that piece of metal you gave me for that reason.
Yeah, I mean, it works really good. I mean, it really does good.
Yeah.
It's held mine in, and mine hasn't budged at all.
I know.
So,
and I still have those same exact mounting holes for all the seats and everything. So I think it'll even be easy to mount. Yeah.
That's cool.
I agree. But for now, it just is what it is. And it works really good.
That's funny, huh? Because if I don't actually look at you, all of a sudden the story just halts.
Yeah,
we got to get used to that. Even though I'm right here, but I was resetting the timer for the cameras. So
yeah, and it's distracting because then like I think it's just natural to want to watch, you know.
Well, that's why I kept the headphones on that time because I was
so
still
you can hear.
listening. Yeah. So and then like an idiot, you know, well, it is what it is. But I don't know.
So we didn't hear the timer or see the camera go off.
No, for some reason it went into pause. Because I'm over here tapping because I can't sit still.
Yeah.
That's an ADHD thing, dudes.
Nice.
So,
hey, you know what? Have you heard
about the Lonesome Loser?
Yeah. What's that?
That's the song, man. Have you heard about the
Lonesome Loser, beaten by the Queen of Hearts every time?
What I was gonna say.
BJ and the Bandit, bro. No,
What I was
BJ
gonna
and the
say-
Bear.
Nope. I
Oh
haven't
my
heard it.
god, dude! People are gonna freak out when they see this.
How about this? I've probably heard it. I just don't know that name. Fair?
The BJ and the Bear.
Yeah.
It was the best show ever.
In
I wanted to drive.
1926.
No, it's in the 80s, but I want to drive a big rig because of that guy and his monkey bear.
Oh, are you talking about BJ and the Bears?
Just BJ and the Bear. BJ and the Bear.
Let's try to fake it.
Oh
remember.
yeah, BJ and
I
those bears.
remember.
Dude, anyway, somebody's going to chime in on the comments. You watch.
I hope.
I love that
You know,
show.
speaking of
Shows
comments,
my age.
are you getting any comments on YouTube?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I haven't seen it. I don't know. Maybe I didn't look. That's exactly why.
Well, I guess I don't know, a couple.
Nice. What did they say?
When's the next one come out?
Oh,
I liked it.
are you quoting? That's good. Those are good.
I forget what I wrote.
But they're engaging, right? They're
Yeah,
like
yeah,
someone
yeah.
watched it, liked it, and commented something.
Yeah, nobody said, "Hey, dude, this sucks balls. What are
Yeah.
you doing?"
Oh, because we're gonna get their address.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, because off their plate. Speaking of plates,
Oh,
dude,
that's right.
I was somebody did follow us on Instagram.
Yeah.
And I followed him back, and I looked at his plate, and his plate says Death Wobble. I was like, that is the fucking best, dude.
That's awesome. But Death Wobble is not the best.
But it was an XJ.
It's so frustrating,
Dude.
If you can't solve it.
I had to zoom back in and look. It was awesome.
Nice.
Like, it was awesome.
Nice.
Death Wobble's awesome.
What I really was gonna get at
Sorry.
is on all of our wheeling trips. This is my lead to the topic.
Yeah, but I'm kind of disappointed that you didn't call me to stick on this intro thing here. I'm disappointed I didn't
Call
get to
you
see
what?
you cut the top off. We talked about it literally in the podcast,
I know.
the last podcast.
But I was so into it, I just did it.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just move on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you were at the lake.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have come over.
No.
And I still would have cut it off.
Yeah, right.
You have to do it when you're motivated and into it. You can't just...
It's crazy, dude.
Like,
How much?
I'm not going to schedule it
It's
and be like, hey, Mike,
it's
can
funny
you
you
schedule me?
Yeah, no. It's funny you said that you woke up and did that because I do that all the time. Like I solve major problems while I'm sleeping all the time.
Well, when you wake up.
No, I'll solve that shit in my brain
In
while
your
I'm
dreams?
sleeping at night. Yeah.
Oh, shit.
I can sleep and never rest. Literally, I'm awake the whole time in my dream.
Yeah.
And I wake up so exhausted, but I figure out how to make the cross member for the transfer case, figure out how the skid plate's going to work, decide whether I'm going to use tube for the subframe or square. Like all those major decisions happen in the middle of the night.
Wow.
It's crazy.
See, I actually I do think about stuff like that, but not my dreams. I really don't remember my dreams hardly ever. I just like to think about it and search on my phone, and then look at pictures.
Yeah.
You know, and then you get all the ideas of like cross members that have been built and front axles that have been installed into unibody Jeeps. You know, stuff like that. And then maybe I dream about it.
Right.
How sweaty and dirty and grimy how exciting, you know, and then
Definitely like when I'm obsessed with something and I can't figure it out and it's on my brain
Yeah.
constantly.
Nice.
Man, I hit the sack. I fall asleep because clearly I'm asleep somehow, but I am wide ass awake in there.
that's crazy.
Yeah, it's been like that.
Maybe
my whole life,
maybe
though.
that's lucid dreaming.
I don't know.
It sounds
dude.
like the right term.
I don't know. When I used to work at 7-Eleven as a cashier,
Yeah.
I have a problem with numbers.
Okay.
So I used to have to run that cash register.
Dyslexic.
Yeah, like I don't know. Numbers just freak me out for some reason. They freak me out. I don't know. They don't freak me out. I don't know. I'm not good at numbers. I mix them up.
Like an 8. It's all ripped and fucking mean.
No,
No? Oh,
no,
okay.
different kind.
Okay,
But,
never mind.
but point of it would be is I used to have nightmares about not finding the right number on the cash register when I worked there as a kid.
Well, there is a lot of pressure when someone's giving you money and you should give them the right change back. So it can I was a cashier for like off and on when I was in high school.
Right.
And I got nervous, you know, and like even though I think my register told me the change, you get like you're all quarters.
Yeah, I was gonna say
dimes.
back then it didn't tell you. You had to count it back.
Yeah.
And you had to know all that crap.
Yeah.
And everything had special buttons. There was like, I don't know, 900 buttons on the cash register, and you had to like
For like the different items you
cigarettes
sell?
and burritos, like all this pre-programmed
Wow.
junk, and you're like, oh my gosh, you know. But
Yeah.
yeah, that has nothing to do with willing.
It's all right.
But
People like the stories.
but the math and all that crazy shit used to mess with me pretty good. So
nice.
right.
So sidetracked.
No, we're not.
No, I am.
Oh, well, you were on this fucking verbal brain dump. Wah! And
was?
yeah, you were jamming, dude. I wish you talked like that all the time. Yeah, it was very animated. It's
See,
good.
now I'm sidetracked because this.
No, we got those notes.
I know,
Those dope notes.
but your change story and your scary numbers.
Well, because I didn't
Try-
do a whole lot of stuff.
Cool. Let me check the notes.
All right. Yep, you're gonna need those notes. So,
Thinking.
So I was disappointed that you didn't let me cut off the top. But hey, you know what? You got to go for
You
it.
physically wanted to do the work.
No, I definitely wanted to be there.
Oh,
But I mean, it's not like I'm not going to cry over spilled milk.
Yeah.
But I was stoked. I think it looks 100% better.
yeah.
Regardless what half the people on the internet said, don't do it. I'm glad you did it. It's
Yeah.
funny because the podcast I just listened to that's coming out or whatever, we debated on there when you were going to do it. And we were talking in the winter.
That's probably why it's so fresh in my mind. And then why? No, well, we would have recorded on Tuesday, and I didn't do it till Saturday or Sunday.
It was very quick though. Yeah. I was shocked.
Quick turnaround.
It was
That's
cool.
That's what I like to hear.
When I saw it, it was really cool. Mm-hmm. I'm glad you did it. It looks cool.
Thank you.
I got to see it out of the garage though. I haven't
Yeah.
seen it out of the garage yet.
Well, after we're done, we're pulling it out.
Yeah.
We're gonna do some one tire fires and.
One tire fire.
Well, I can't.
Can you
lock-
do a one tire fire?
If there's a little dirt on the ground, hell yeah.
Oh my god.
We'll throw some pea gravel down and
All right.
pee.
All right. So, willing with friends and why we don't like big groups. Yes. Cool. All right, Max. Why don't we like big groups? I know why I don't like a big
I'll
group.
tell you. I'll tell you why.
You're all amped up. Let's do it.
Yeah, I actually feel pretty good today.
Yeah, I can tell.
But with big groups, it can be really cool if you're into it.
Yeah.
Or it could go really bad because, for example, like I like to wheel with the people we know, and that's actually a big group of people, but not everyone goes wheeling together all the time. But when you have a big group of strangers, it can be really frustrating, especially if anything bad happens or like someone has to be recovered or someone breaks down, because you don't know any of these people. You don't know their personalities, and some people panic. Like they freak out. Like I remember, for instance, one guy was like, we're in the middle of a trail and we know, me and you know, it's going to take all day because it's a bigger group. And this, like, let's say it's noon. And this guy's like, dude, I got to be home by 2. I have a kid.
I remember that.
I'm okay.
He didn't want to scratch it.
We're in the middle of doing this trail. And I think he ended up leaving by himself because he had to go home and babysit, which is not bad. But that was not, he shouldn't have planned on going on that trail, technically, right? Like, why go? Well, I guess
you probably didn't know. Yeah. I mean, we've been on trails. We didn't know how long they were.
That's true.
You know,
but I think he was the guy that wheeled that trail a lot.
Oh, really? That's not who I was thinking, though. Remember the guy that was out at the white tanks with us? The day we did that really crazy one with the rock bouncer, when I outwheeled the rock bouncer.
Because we broke away from the big group to do that trail.
because it was too slow, right?
That's right. That's right.
Slow.
But
there was
are you talking in the wash?
Yeah.
That's like a 1 or 2 rated trail.
Yeah.
And the guy's like, "You said this was gonna be moderate."
Yeah.
Like
because the bushes were scratching the doors. Yeah. That guy.
Yeah,
That's who I thought you were talking about.
I don't know.
Yeah, he was flipping out, man. But
well, that guy left too, I'm pretty sure.
He did.
But I at that point I was laughing hysterically because he was having a tantrum, to be honest.
Yeah, right.
I swear he's having a tantrum. I don't know. That's what
funny.
I thought. And there was nothing bad going on. It just wasn't. It
was just tight.
It just wasn't drivable. You know, you had to wheel it a little.
Yeah.
And for his Jeep, or maybe for his experience, because I think that was like a brand new, clean, nice Jeep.
Yeah.
And maybe he didn't have much experience.
Yeah, I think that's a lot what it was, because he was running around. He was super amped up with it, and it was really not even a 1. I mean, it was just above. It was literally, you're just in a dirty wash. Like, it was just above a dirt road.
I think they were just losing a little bit of traction for the people who didn't engage any lockers or couldn't because they don't have them.
It did get tighter at the end, though. And he bailed out before that.
But do you remember how they bailed out? They went up like a 30-foot dirt wash that's like 45 degrees, and you have to like full throttle out of there.
Yeah.
How is that?
Well, the
easy?
other one,
like I would be scared of that versus bumping through like one rock.
I do remember we had to go. Yeah, I was going to say there was that one tight rock they had to turn right. We never even made it to that point. We bailed out too because
it took all day. Yeah.
We're at the back, but this is perfect for the big groups. So when you're first wheeling and you don't really know the area, you have to sign on to these big groups. You don't know people, you don't know where you're going,
That's true.
And eventually you start pulling out guys that are you collect with. Your rigs are built fairly the same.
Yep.
You know what I mean, or at least the same level. And the next thing you know, you got 5 to 10 guys that you can go out with anytime.
Yeah.
That are perfect.
And they have similar mindsets.
Yeah.
You know, everyone. I'm not saying it's cool to get damaged and all that stuff, but everyone is more accepting and they're also more cautious, I think. And they're maybe even more familiar with how the trail goes. Like Drew and Gabe.
Yeah, exactly. When we first met those guys, I mean, like Drew, we for the longest time we used to say, if you're about to get stuck, just hammer the gas real quick, dude, because that's what Drew does. Like, we're gonna Drew this obstacle. Yeah. We have the Moab bump and the way Drew does it. So but Gabe has always been methodical, fantastic wheeler, but it's also being too cautious has bit him in the ass a few times on that white line. Remember when we had the silver balls hanging off the winch line? Yeah. Should we tell that? So so there's this obstacle called the white line, right?
Table Mesa, Lower Terminator.
Is that where it's at, lower? Yeah. Nobody even goes on it anymore because it's not even an obstacle. Everybody does that first one to the left.
I know. I don't know why. Why does no one go through that?
You know, when I first went up that one, Vern showed it to me, and they said
that's it's illegal.
Illegal,
right?
yeah. But now it's the friggin' main line, and the bypass is so wicked now that it blows the white line away. Like, I drove over the white line and then back over it once just to see if I could do it because it didn't bother my Jeep at all. But
well, next time we go there, we're doing the white line.
Okay, so back to this white line. Basically, it's a big ass slab that sits off camber like 45 degrees. And to clear it, you have to be as high. There's this white quartz line that goes through the rock, and that's why it's called white line. You put your passenger tires up on that line, and that puts you far enough away because once the front tires,
you got to go high on the incline.
Yeah, you drive way up to the incline
Yeah.
because it drops off the backside, and when it drops off, the front tires don't really touch anything, so you hit the skid plate, and immediately it starts to slide into the rock, this rock wall.
And the rock wall is leaning in. Well, it's this way. It's leaning into the trail.
Yeah.
And the white line is a hump like this, so you're already.
Yeah, it's leaned against the Jeep.
Yeah.
So both sides are leaning towards each other. The point is when you get up on there, the trick is to just roll that one fast. Don't touch the brakes. Just roll it quick. It'll hit the skid plate and slide off in the front.
Carry momentum.
Yeah, the front touch before it hits the wall. Yeah. Right. So Gabe is he had this mental block on him that he get hung up on this thing. So he would creep over it, and then all of a sudden his Jeep's really nice. Would start sliding towards the rock, and he'd just stay on the brakes.
And I think he even leaned into it.
That was the day, yeah. He got really close or touched the wall.
Yeah.
And now it was going to damage his Jeep. So I drove up to the top of the bypass part of it, got up on top, hooked the winch line to his roll cage, and we pulled the Jeep lean over.
Yeah.
But we slid. Somebody had truck balls, those big plastic balls. So we dangled them on the winch line right above his mouth. So right above where it connected to the winch cage.
We hooked it to his roll cage or sport cage.
Yeah.
So it dangled directly in his face view, and of course we're all like taking photos. Oh, Gabe's being recovered, you know. And
with these huge truck balls dangling in his face.
They
teabagged him.
They were pretty girthy. I mean,
they were huge, dude.
Yeah, they were.
I
would say they're oversized.
I have that. I have that video somewhere. I'm sure I can find it.
That would be awesome to insert in here.
Yeah. So we're going with groups.
But that's why, even though that was a bad situation for Gabe, Gabe never lost his cool. He knew like 3 of his buddies were there with 3 other vehicles. And I don't know, I'm guessing, right? I don't remember who all was there. But it was like 3 or 4 of us.
Yeah.
And it was perfect. We helped him. We got over it and we continued the trail. Now, if there's 20 people, first of all, a couple in the back are yelling. They're
getting antsy.
Move it! You know, like, and then this guy feels pressured and he might get irritated to the guy trying to help him. And that's where then I would get upset. I wouldn't say anything, but I'd be like, hey, like, don't rush it. We're trying to help you.
Yeah, right.
And don't yell at me because I'm, again, trying to help you and be cool. Like, you're the one that brought nothing.
You seriously don't want to add stress when somebody's on an obstacle freaking out.
And it shouldn't be stressful, or we shouldn't add stress because it is already semi-stressful.
Right.
Especially if you're not used to it or you're newer to wheeling.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's definitely a give or take because you got to be cool and respectful, but in the same sense, like everybody's been on that big ass line that stops. Like the guys up front clear the obstacle, then they stop, and then all of a sudden, by the time it makes it to the guys in the back, you just get started and you stop again, and you're like, "What in the hell?"
And I think a lot of people want a cool photo, which I've done that 1,000 times. You know, like
you just have to kind of know, but eventually you'll get that core group that like with Gabe, Drew, Steve. Chris, Orange Chris, White Chris, like these guys will never leave us. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
We know we're never going to leave them. They'll never leave us.
Yep.
That's a group, and you know they understand. Like, hey, we want to get some good pictures, and we try to look for different pictures and things like that, stuff we haven't been in before. But if we have to haul ass, we haul ass. If we take our time, we take our time, man. But that's what makes the trail days the best is when you have that group. And we've had larger groups that can do that. You know what I mean? But there's not a lot of pictures taken if you're moving through a big long trail with a lot of guys.
Well, and I think that if there's 10, 12, 15 Jeeps, that you got to just kind of keep moving, you know, or it will take potentially 10 hours to get through a trail that is not even that long, you know. Like a lot of trails out here seem like they're really not that long in distance, but just stopping and doing all that stuff, it's fun, you know. And we all like to mess around. You know, I used to get I shouldn't say upset, but I used to be like, why is everyone stopping again? But now that we've done it for so many years, I totally get why.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to rush to go wheeling, rush through the trail, and rush to go sit on the couch.
Yeah, right.
Like, I want to be out there with my friends, and I want to just hang out. And if that means, like, hey, we stopped again, like, I'm like, oh, cool.
Yeah, I find I get into that mentality when I holy shit. Oh, Sorry, guys. I thought we didn't record any of this. I was just like, oh, my God, that would have sucked.
I remember you said you started it, though.
Holy crap, dude. That scared me for a second. I was just like,
that would suck.
Really? Really? Because your story was so perfect and animated. That would have been a great, well, it is going to be
And I can't remember it.
There ain't no way you're going to tell it the same.
What story?
Right. We don't even know what we're talking about. I definitely get that way when I don't know the trail. I start to get antsy to see what's in there. But that's just me. That's my mentality.
But that's getting out there. Once we're there, lately we've been doing like the barbecuing and grilling and setting up a lunch. Then no one's really rushing because we know we're gonna stick around and have lunch, and it's usually towards the end. So we kind of head out after, or go to the next spot.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking in particular when I did Red Creek.
Oh, I don't
like
think I was
I'd never been on that trail and there was water and it was hot and I was looking forward to the end.
But you are with people you didn't know that well,
Right.
and you don't wheel with them regularly.
Right. Yeah. So it was exactly. I didn't know what we were coming. I don't know what was coming next, but it that one I was anxious to get to the water and check it out. I want to make sure I can try to make the whole trail. So what's the biggest trail you did? It's got to be the Crown King one.
Oh my God.
There's like 50 vehicles.
Well, you mean the longest?
Yeah. Well, with more people.
Yeah. It has to be Crown King. Not only is it usually big groups, there's a lot of traffic coming down the hill. There's
side by sides, quads.
Everyone's out there, and as they should be. But I mean, I've gotten my Jeep damaged before on Crown King because I rolled. The road gets tight, so like the trail, it gets tight sometimes. And I drove up the side of a hill. My Jeep's already at like a 30-degree angle going up the hill. I can't get much higher on it. And the side-by-side scraped across my doors.
Really?
Yeah. Luckily I didn't really I was like, thanks, but no thanks.
Yeah, right. Like dude. That just
it's messed up. It's messed up with that guy, and he just booked it.
Sounds like we're bitching this whole time.
No,
I know, but that reminded me of the time we were going. I was driving down the big sluice, and I was so far over.
The guy
in that damn Toyota drove up my tire, over the hood, and off the front, and then he's like, "Sorry, bro," and throws me a whatever this is, Shaka hang loose thing.
Oh, hang loose. I don't know.
And then he's like, "Sorry, bro," and I was like, "What the fuck, dude?" He literally just drove over the top. And
I was in your Jeep, I think.
Yeah.
Because you were baffled. You were like, dude, I think you were shocked, baffled, and upset. And you're like,
no, I wasn't upset because we were in a beautiful location and I was laughing and he clearly didn't do any damage,
and it was your front wheel. I remember because that was the rear wouldn't have been as big of a deal, but the front's got knuckles, ball joints, steering.
He went over the tires,
and he was on like 40. He was on monster tires. I swear.
Yeah, at least 40s, 42s.
Yeah,
they were big balloons.
And it was like an actual buggy, right?
A Toyota, white Toyota. Oh. I seen him on the video. He called me. He was on a video and I was like, "Hey, you're the asshole that ran over my thing." Oh, and he's like, "Ha ha ha!" I was like, "Whatever." Somewhere on social media,
he's still laughing.
Yeah, he just clipped a corner, but it happened to climb my tire, then the fender, and then the hood. And luckily, it went right off the tip of the hood.
Well, luckily, all that stuff on your Jeep, it's all heavy duty right there.
Well, I have those bars, the tube, the fender's made out of the tubes, and then they have
I didn't know he went on the fender too.
Yeah, right up that whole corner, man, right up and over that corner.
See, that's messed up.
Yeah, but it was kind of, I mean, if he would have done damage, I'd have been pissed. I'd have caught him. Maybe I wouldn't have caught him. But
no, Toyota?
That dude was rolling.
He was probably in like double low.
No, they were hauling ass, dude. I think they were racing
they passed
through
us,
there.
That's right.
Yeah. And because I saw him coming down, I pulled way off to the side, like way off.
Yeah.
And then my point of that was then in Moab, I was going up the Moab rim, okay? And there's this whole group the whole place was packed, dude. There were so many cars both directions. There was a group of older, like CJs, CJ5, CJ7, like this really old group, probably 25 or 30 of them. But once you get on that trail, there's several ledges that's only wide for one. You can get through with one.
Yeah.
Well, there's a bazillion people back to back behind me, right? A little group in front of us. He's coming down, and like I'm on the obstacle. I'm about to drop off driver's side down off of a ledge, and it leans to the left, right? Uh-huh. And then it's the front tire goes over. He drives all the way to the base of that thing, trying to climb it, where we're both in the exact same spot. But I was already there.
So he could have waited.
Dude, he should have waited.
Yeah.
I don't know. Excuse me.
Oh, my God.
I don't know what the trail etiquette is currently off the top of my head, but regardless of which, if you were sitting in that particular spot, he could go nowhere till I cleared the obstacle.
Yeah.
Because there's a bazillion, not even till me, all the people behind me had to clear it. because that's how tight that section was.
Yeah.
So I saw him roll in there, and I'd already been ran over in a few other instances. So I just rolled right off, and our roll bar smacked. Punk.
Wow.
And I just eyeballed him because now we're both driver to driver.
Damn.
You know what I mean? And I was just like, "What are you doing, bro? You were clear 2 feet back there, you know." But
Yeah, you didn't just rev it to like 5,000, like wah!
no, I let it fall off that ledge pretty quick, so it rolled the body, and we just smacked. And I looked at him like,
speaking of,
I give him a head nod. I didn't do anything bad, but
speaking of not knowing the trail etiquette 100%, like I think me and you actually do know it. It's other people that don't. What I hate is when you can see someone coming up and you pull over because there's a big, nice clearing, right? And then the two drivers can see each other. And what happens is then that guy pulls over because he's got like a nice spot possibly too. And then I'm like, I'm already stopped and out of the way. Like I would prefer that you just drive right through. You know, why are you like, why make it complicated? You know, it's like the guy at a 4-way stop that was clearly already there. Then I pull up and then he waves you through.
Right.
It's like, hey, there's traffic laws. You know, like
dude.
you could just abide them and you could have already been gone. And now you're waving me through, but now there's other people waiting because it's a 4-way or you know, whatever. And it's like, hey, why don't you just follow the traffic laws?
Hey, welcome to the Mike and Max Bitch Podcast.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, dude.
Nothing but
I feel like I'm complaining the whole time.
well, that's just you. You know, you're complainolophagus.
Complain-olophagus. We're not complaining, bro. The point of it is when you when you get on a touchy subject of too many people.
That's not the point.
The
The point is get an awesome group of friends
there you go.
together, wheel with people you trust, and let new people in, let people go, do all, like, don't be against wheeling with more people.
Yeah.
But like grow an awesome big group. Like you and I right now, we're part of like a fairly big group. I bet you there's 15 to 20 guys that we could technically go wheeling with whenever.
Right.
And not everyone goes, but we all know each other. We all like to talk to each other.
Yeah, there's definitely a group, like that I would be comfortable 100% going anywhere with.
We're all slightly overweight and love to grill food on the trail. Mainly Mike.
Yeah, shut up.
But that's the point. Like, make good friends and have fun.
And if you do get on a big trail,
yeah,
just expect it. You're gonna have those issues, and you got to have a clear, cool head about it.
Yep.
You know what I mean? You might as well just be there for the fun, just the ride, and roll with the punches, dude.
Yeah. You gotta have patience.
Yep.
If you don't know the people, because not every person that meets each other gets along. Off-roading, I think most people do.
Yeah.
But not everybody.
Yeah, and the guy that's on the obstacle struggling, do not give that dude more stress.
Yeah.
Or chick, lady.
Here, that's the next thing. When you're out with 10 people that you don't know or 30 people that you don't know, everyone thinks they're the best spotter. And I've seen it on trails where there's 3 guys yelling.
I don't think they think they're the best. I think that everyone's just trying to help. And they see something that the other guy doesn't see. But I don't think
they see a lot.
Hey, I'm the best. I don't think that happens, do you?
I don't know.
A spot for my friend here. Maybe driver. I think he's got that. Maybe forward. Can I get a real spotter? All right, driver! Passenger! What are you doing, dude? Oh my God! Stop! No, a little bit out of time. No! Driver! Passenger! You gotta listen to your spotter, man! Everything's important. What do you think of that, buddy? Huh? Oh. Glad we got him up that trail.
It sounded good, though.
I do know that sometimes the guy that is the lead thinks he should spot everyone.
He feels responsible.
Yeah.
It's his trail run.
And there's probably clearly people that should spot better than that person. Yeah. I have definitely seen that. But like when you and I go, like I trust you. You kind of know where my Jeep has to go. You know what I mean?
And now that you can go below 10 miles an hour over sketchy obstacles, that helps.
Yeah.
Because it's hard for me too, you know, because if I'm trying to be cautious and not get you in a bad spot, and you mowed through that obstacle on Highway to Hell, and I was like, slow down, because I've seen you go slower. I swear.
No, it just was the obstacle. That's as slow as it goes. Like
I mean, I 100% believe you, but I was scared because what if that is a bad one to fall into?
What's funny though is when you went, why are you going so fast? Like that's adding stress. I was like, what are you talking about, man? What do you see that I don't? But the other thing too is here's a good thing now is how do you politely say, let me try the obstacle first before you spot me? Like
Yeah,
I'm to the point now where I
Yeah.
want to see where if I can picture the lines and I want to see the lines, and I don't want to be spotted through everything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And I think it just comes straight back to having a good group of friends who are like-minded. And I think in our group, people can tell if you need help. I think a
our
lot
group
of
now.
people walk up because first of all, they want to watch.
Right.
You know, like they would like to see the Jeeps making through the obstacle. And sometimes there's a guy up top right away with some of the more difficult, like if it's a really tough obstacle, there's
Right.
usually a guy up there anyways just watching, and he'll spot you. And I think we just straight up have to say like, hey, just let me try it without
Yeah.
any negative Nancy's around. You know.
The other thing I'd like to figure out is like with Randy, when
Yeah.
I was out here at Buckeye, and he's like, come in this hole, you know, and I'm like, dude, I've been in there so many times, I know I can't make that.
Yeah.
And he's like, you never been spotted by me, bro. And I was like, all right. So I had to please him to show him like, hey, I can't make it still. So anyways, I go in there, but it'd be nice to be like, I don't know, you know, like
Because he blocked. You said
Yeah.
that right. He wanted everyone to go through it.
right. So to describe this obstacle, actually we have a really good video of your Jeep making it through there. Climbs
Oh, yeah.
right up over the top.
Yeah.
I'll throw that in the video. But at any rate,
That's right, folks. I made it.
Yeah, and then I'll show the other part where I don't make it and I have to back
Yeah,
off. of it.
and you got really tippy.
Yeah, I thought I was gonna flip
and,
over backwards.
And the torque was gonna torque you backwards, right? You thought.
Dude, but that was the first time with that gearbox.
Yeah.
And with that low of gearing, you can't stand in the gas and bring it back down when it starts to roll over. I was just along for the ride.
Yeah.
Like I could bring it to 4,000 RPM. It didn't do anything.
Yeah, you wouldn't go any faster.
Didn't
mean,
do nothing. I just sat there
very
waiting.
little.
Yeah, but luckily that tire caught. But so basically there's essentially like almost two buggy lines to the left.
Mm-hmm.
There's a fairly hard obstacle like to the right of those two, and then all the way to the right is the bypass, which is basically a road that
Yeah.
goes up and
Yeah.
around. So nobody wants to take the bypass, and I know I can't make the two buggy lines. I've been in there a bunch of times to try them, and I haven't made either one of them. So I did get fairly close with Randy. Like I give him that on that far line that you went up,
Okay, the left.
and I'd never done it because I thought it for sure it'd flip over, but that hole wasn't as deep as it was that day.
We gotta call that the beehive, because you could potentially roll into a beehive
Does it have a beehive in there?
sometimes.
Dude, on the last big waterfall in that trail has a huge beehive.
The one I fell into.
No, you haven't seen it.
Oh, the waterfall that's
Yeah.
new. That's right.
Dude, there's like 3 more huge obstacles on that trail that are
Nice.
badass. So I like to
it's
see
so
yours
hot.
go up it. Yeah, right now we're not doing shit.
Yeah. But it's so close.
Unless it's in Flagstaff and cooking and grilling and drinking, I don't see me doing much.
Nice.
But anyways, so yeah, he blocked the line that I can make.
Yeah.
Is either the bypass or the buggy line.
So, but your question was, what's the difference, right? Wheeling with Rand and wheeling with like your let's call it the core group of buddies, right?
Yeah.
I think the biggest difference is that all of our core group can drive their Jeeps on the road, and they tend to drive them. Some of them are daily drivers, just really built up. And Rand and those guys are purely buggies, and they don't really care if it hits the side, rolls over, breaks something. Well, anyone cares about braking, but I think the way they spot is just a little bit more aggressive.
A lot.
And I think that just kind of bleeds through even to us when we go on trails with him. Like, so
Yeah.
I don't think it's meant badly. I think it's just his way of wheeling and the way he is, you know?
Yeah, when we got there, after I got up, went around, made me take the bypass, and I walked down to watch them spot the other folks through.
Yeah.
I did tell him, I was just like, look, dude, I don't care if I make the course, or I don't care if I make that obstacle or not. That doesn't bother me. You know what I mean?
It's a very big, hard obstacle.
Well,
Like,
yeah, I'm out here for to hang out with the people and stuff like
Yeah.
that. But I really don't care if I make it. It's not the ultimate goal for me. I don't care, So I make what I can make and what I can't make, and I know my stuff pretty well now.
Yeah.
So, but my actual question is how do you tell somebody that you've never been spotting with that you don't
Yeah.
want that spot?
without making it a problem. Like without someone being
Yeah.
offended, without
Well,
someone taking it the wrong way. Like you're not gonna scream at him, right? Because this guy should be your friend first of all.
Okay, yeah. For instance, like let's just step back to Sunflower with Bobby that we
Okay.
just
Yep.
that just came out. The I was trying to work that monster truck, Scott's monster truck, over
Yep.
that rock because the rock was right on his ram, and he was going to break the ram or the steering. It was a huge rock, and he kept bumping it. So because that truck was so big, it was the Austin Powers half little turn, 500 point turn. And Bobby just comes over and is like, waves him through. He punches it and makes it over. And luckily, he didn't break the ram or bend it.
Yes.
But now we all think like, hey, that was a perfect spot. But that wasn't a perfect spot. When I'm spotting, I'm actually trying to see, because I don't want to stay out there all night. So like, I'm looking to make sure you don't break something. You're not bound. You're not rolled over on a tire.
Well, you're being
it.
cautious, right?
Well,
you're trying to find the right line for that guy
right
to go through, to where Bobby rammed him. Like Bobby took a sledgehammer and helped him through, and you were going to finesse it.
Well, I was going to not break his ram, no matter what the time it took. Because we were on that. I mean, I had to start back up, like 5 minutes. And I think Bobby thought I was struggling, or came over and just like waved him through, not seeing what I saw. So a lot of times I see that where somebody on the other side will be like, they'll be spotting, because now as a spotter or whatever, I know, all right, I'm not saying anything. I'm going to let whoever's talking talk.
Yes.
But there's those moments in time where they don't see something on the other side that I might see. And now what I used to do was holler that out, and then other people holler crap out. Next thing you know, we're all hollering stuff.
It gets crazy.
Yeah. So what I do now is I'll whistle or holler to the spotter and tell him what I see, and he can relay it to the driver. You know what I mean?
There should be one spotter.
Right. So you want to grab that? Yeah. So the other thing with the whole spotting thing is when on that trail that Bobby's leading, the Highway to Hell one, or H2H, he would come down, but I trust you more than I trusted Bobby to spot my Jeep, because you've been around my Jeep long enough. You know exactly where they're so damn wide, and you know the kind of the characteristics of it. You know what it's going to take to get it to stay flat or whatever, you know. And yeah, I mean, come on. You know.
Well, I mean? and you're my ride home. I'm not gonna spot you into a total death trap, because how are we gonna get home?
Well, even that, but
yeah,
the fact that we drive them, you know what I mean. We always have that in the back of your head.
Yeah. And a lot of people do.
Yeah.
I know for a fact that, I don't want to say the majority because I don't know for a fact, you know, but
right.
I know for a fact most people do.
Dude, when I was in Moab on the Warren Trail, where you get the Warren invited thing.
Yeah, that was awesome.
So we did a trail called the Chute, or it was Flatiron Mesa, and there's an obstacle called the Chute.
Okay.
So I had hammered it and got my front tires up on the top. What? Hammered it. I don't have the Moab bump down like everybody does. And that chute is pretty. It's pretty much a straight up waterfall. I don't know, 5 feet or so, but it's at the top of this other climb. It's pretty intimidating for you haven't seen anything like that till you get to that spot. But so I get up there and I get my front tires up on the top of it, and the guys are saying, "Oh, you got this, dude. You made it past the hardest part. Give it another bump." I give it a little bump, the front wiggles a little, and I'm like, "Just pull the winch." And they're like, "Oh man, you got this. You got this." And I said, "No, I don't have it, but it's I might try it. I could do it, but it's the first day of an entire week, dude.
Yeah,
you have to start." And I drove it to Moab. You know what I mean? Like, this thing's got to get me home, and we got a wheel for a week. And my ultimate goal is to make that flat fender run. So
yes,
which is Friday, and this was Monday, right? So you want to hear a funny story about while I was there in that exact spot?
Yeah.
So I don't know if you know who Fred Perry is from Clemson Four Wheelers.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
I watched the UA.
I love that old guy, right? He's awesome.
Yeah.
So he hammers up that thing like a bat at it, dude. He is bouncing like crazy. He hits it, and he doesn't do the Moab bump correctly. Like the front tires didn't clear before you gas it again, and it shoots back off of the face of that thing, bounces back down, and I believe it was his kid sitting there going, "Oh, wait," and he tells him, calms him down, but he beats on it and makes it over the top. Yeah, gets to the top. He and I are talking there after I just fell, got winched up, and because those guys were cool actually. I got another really shitty story with my own brother-in-law. Wouldn't throw me a winch line, but that'll come out later. So, but I asked for a winch and they gave me a winch. You know what I mean? That's important too. If a dude's stressed on an obstacle out there, folks, and they want a winch, give them a winch. God damn it! So
because it doesn't take that much time.
No, it really doesn't.
But Fred,
yeah. So Fred's sitting there telling me, or I'm talking to him, and now I feel totally defeated. I feel like a loser.
Yeah.
Didn't have the balls to do it. We're watching some girl in a little dinky samurai beat the snot out of it without giving up, but she never made it either. But she didn't quit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They told her.
like she gave it hell.
They told her, you have to grab a winch, dude. Like, you are out of freaking control because you're definitely going to flip over here if you keep doing that. So they made her take a winch. So anyway, where I bailed, I'm such a sissy. Anyways, so I'm sitting there feeling totally defeated, talking with Fred. And we're talking. He's like, "Oh, it's tires, man. It's got to be tires." You know, he's got this long old accent, and he says he had crawler stickies on there one time.
Oh yeah.
And he goes, Man, I had stickies on there. I swear to you, I went up this big old hill, hit a bump, and the front tires came off, and I rode that sumbitch all the way to the top on the back tires.
In a wheelie.
In a wheelie to the top. And I go, damn, bro, how do you stay in the gas when it's going like that? And he goes, big old balls. And he's doing the hand gestures like he's holding these huge balls.
That's awesome, though.
Yeah, I got to be like that old guy one day,
Yeah.
man.
One day.
I call him old.
But that's probably experience.
Wielding
years
forever.
and years. Like, he's probably been wheeling longer than you've been alive.
Yeah. Well, you're really calling him old, bro.
He is old.
He's a cool dude, man.
I will say, though, having sticky tires is amazing.
Yeah.
When I had those BFG Red Labels, and they, like, you saw it. You
Yeah,
know, some of those obstacles where you got to work it, it just walks up now.
Yeah. Yeah, but at that time when you were talking on like a podcast or two ago, when you said I spotted it grip, you're spinning them and I saw it bounce. Where
Yeah.
before it was slipping and then it started to bounce as it dried out and got hot.
Yeah.
And then I was like, dude, just hit it. It's going to go.
Oh, that was the pacing.
Yeah.
That was the obstacle and pacing.
I
Yeah.
have that video too.
Nice. Yeah, I got to get another set of stickies.
I think that was the first time I met Chris Bear, White Chris.
Really? That was the first time you met him, huh?
think
To go
so.
camping and a whole trip?
I think so, yeah.
That was a good trip, though.
Yeah, we camped. That was an awesome trip.
Camping in Arizona is cool, man, because you can get out of Phoenix into the cooler mountains.
Yeah. Speaking of which, we can do that next week, right?
Maybe,
Yeah.
maybe not.
Why not? Not this coming weekend, next weekend.
No, I know.
The trip we were supposed to
I
go on.
actually believe that my mom has some family coming, like a guy from Boston and another friend from Hawaii, and they're going on a camping trip. So I told her already, like a couple months ago, I'd give her all my camping stuff, so because she doesn't have any. And then that same weekend, I think they all want to get together and do something. But I got to verify it's that weekend.
Well, if you need camping gear, I got plenty of it.
Oh, maybe we can still go.
Yeah, you don't need
But
that.
but what it depends on is what they want to do, and if it's like Saturday or Sunday, because I need to see them. You know, I mean, they're like really cool people.
Yeah.
That have been around almost my entire life, and that I never see.
I'm just dying to
So-
get back. I'm dying to get into the pine trees.
I know.
That's where my goal is. I may just take the truck.
Have you heard of the White Mountains?
Yeah.
Like north of, it's like Sholo area. It's a little bit further away, but I think the high is in the 70s there.
Isn't that where
And
that Travis guy got abducted by aliens in the movie Fire in the Sky? That's the White Mountains.
Huh.
It was.
Maybe I don't know. But Joe and his wife are going that same weekend.
Right?
And he's kind of pushing for us to go too. And I actually told him I would pitch it.
Who's Joe?
He's just a buddy. A guy that I actually kind of grew up with. We used to ride BMX bikes together. And I've told you about him. They're more into like overlanding and camping and like relaxing. But they've already been out there, and he says it is the most amazing spot to go. But it's like a 4-hour drive.
I don't know. Oh, really? I found a badass spot in Alpine, man.
Yeah. But he has a really good point, you know, because I really wanted to go to the edge of the world. Yeah. But edge of the world is not Flagstaff elevation. It's like a few hundred feet above Sedona, which could easily be in the 90s.
Right.
And that's not going to work.
No, we definitely got to be a cooler.
So I'm thinking about heading out with him. He said this camp spot holds like 3-4 vehicles maybe. So like, and it would just be an awesome, relaxing, go on a hike, mess around, you know, just pick some weeds, I don't know, like out in the field. And
we got to get out fairly either late Friday night or early, somewhere in the dark, man.
I guess
My
next
Jeep's gonna
weekend
overheat.
the 17th is a holiday weekend. Because he's like, yeah, it's a 3-day weekend. Let's leave Friday at 4 a.m. And I'm like, yeah, I got to work. Thanks.
Yeah.
You know, but I don't know what holiday, but
I don't know either.
it's not like we have technology devices to tell us.
Right?
But,
It doesn't even matter. The
so that's still an option.
So what we got nothing then coming up? Just too hot, right? That's why we started a podcast.
No, we've been planning to go wheeling and doing all this stuff, but now, like one weekend was Jeep repairs. Now there's like family coming into town. There's just stuff getting in the way. You know, this weekend would have been a good weekend to go out too, but we're doing the pool party. We're doing a buddy's birthday, and it's always on Saturday, you know? So, I mean, we kind of need to leave Friday, enjoy Saturday, and take our time to get back or do a little more wheeling, you know? So if Saturday is booked, it kind of ruins any out of town wheeling, you know?
It makes it to where you end up, relaxing on Sunday, hopefully.
Yeah.
And then Friday, I'm always good to hit go drinking Friday, but
Yeah.
I like Fridays. The No, yeah, and then so you have the pool party this weekend. That's what's next.
But that's all Jeeps.
All Jeeps. Yeah.
That's gonna be cool, and we'll definitely have to post up some photos of that.
Yeah.
Because even in the past, Daryl's front yard is a big L shape, and it's all like a desert scape.
Yeah.
So you can park like 10 Jeeps all along his front yard, and it looks really, really cool. And all those guys have drones. They make that's the highlight. Sometimes
Right.
when we're not wheeling because we're
Yeah, but his kid just came home, so like
Yep.
moved back or whatever. So it's from what I hear, they said no children, man. It's gonna be
It's always no children.
Really?
Yeah. You might have just not noticed it before, but they always say that, and because it's all adults, like everyone is drinking.
Yeah. Don't want to be responsible anyway.
Yeah.
But
And I don't think anyone really has kids to bring. That I mean, maybe like one or two people, but they're almost adults anyways, or they live in their own lives, things like that.
So if I don't have to do what I think I have to do on Saturday, then I'll go to that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna take my Jeep.
All right.
Yeah. Because I've never. None of the previous pool parties I made my Jeep out there, and he's always asking like, "Are you gonna bring the Liberty? Are you gonna bring it?"
That's funny.
And then I'm like, "Yeah, this time I got to bring it because it's ready to go."
Yeah, mine's ready to go. It's just sitting there. The only thing I have to do to it, or I have set up to do to it, is switch the whole belt driven, or all the belt drives. I have a serpentine kit to put on the front of it.
Yeah. You're hoping that gets rid of some of the squeaks.
Yeah.
The under your power steering squeaks under load, right?
Yeah, I think that'll be a huge thing. It's got to be either that or the hydro boost is leaking, and that's part of it. So I'm almost thinking it's getting air from that. Everything else has been changed.
But what would air do for the belt to squeal?
It just makes the pump pin, and when the pump hits max pressure, it stops that pulley.
Yeah.
That's what's going on.
Yeah.
But the only way to do it is to ramp down the pressure, which is what I've been doing with the shims. But it's still, it gets to the point where even the ram won't help. I still can't turn it.
Damn.
It's either squealing or I can't turn it.
Or your RPMs are too low.
Yeah, because I took the pulley that came on that pump was 6.5 inch, 6.25 inches, and the pulley I have on it is like 5, so it's
you reduced
it should be spinning faster. Yeah, it should be slower.
My stuff actually came with a bigger pulley when I converted to PSC.
Yeah,
but it's a high pressure pump, and I think maybe they're trying to slow it down a little.
Yeah, again, this is all junkyard crap, so
yeah.
I got to get it
Junkyard gold,
right? I got to get it figured out. I think that's trademarked by Motor Trend.
Yeah, whatever. No one watches that one.
All right, cool, man. So I'm either going to go work on some cars Saturday or go to a pool party.
Nice. Let me know.
Yeah.
Because you can cruise with me. And I don't think I'm really going to get crazy at Daryl's because I got to drive.
Yeah.
But I got to be responsible.
I may drive too. Maybe I'll take the Jeep too.
Yeah, if you definitely just let me know.
All right, man.
Because we'll cruise out there.
So I think that's it for this episode, right?
I like it.
Yeah, I don't see anything else.
That was a good one, though.
Not too bad.
The YouTube's been doing good.
Yeah, we got to
Right?
figure this camera shit out.
That's okay. It's coming along.
It's annoying, though. It's really slowing our flow down
Yeah.
every time one of the cameras stops, and we got to go restart it. We have
Dude, just spend a couple million, get all the right, get a building, get the cameras, get 3 more Jeeps, a truck that tows 7 Jeeps, whatever,
right? I
No
don't
big
need that.
deal.
I just want a camera. It's either keep working on the front axle or buy another camera.
Yep.
That's literally where
I
I'm
know.
at.
That's a hard dilemma.
Yeah. And what's crazy
I would
is
choose Axel, to be honest.
I think I am. As long as we can keep dealing with that crap. And if anybody starts pointing it out, then, well, I'll stop.
I like it.
Cool, man. All right, folks. Thanks.
Mike and Max, Offroad Podcast, from the garage to the trail. Where can they find you, sir?
Keep it simple off-road everywhere. YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, not Twitter
Nice.
because Twitter sucks.
No one uses. Well, everyone uses Twitter except
Old
us.
fucking people use Twitter. And all they do is talk politics.
I think famous people like Twitter.
Well, yeah.
Anyway, we don't have Twitter.
Right.
We don't even know how to log into Twitter.
Nobody
we
cares
don't-
about Twitter.
Yeah.
Instagram, dude. Instagram and YouTube. I don't even care about Facebook anymore.
Yep. Bye, Facebook.
Yeah.
Thanks.
So, hey, this podcast is going out it's out on Stitcher now. We got
Nice.
approved today for Google Play.
Yes.
But because I'm on iPhone, I can't tell if it works. So somebody else has to figure that out. And we're still waiting crickets for iTunes.
I like your post. The Kermit the Frog looking out the rainy day window. Doesn't he have his hand on the window?
Yeah.
And he's like,
he's all sad.
I'm just waiting to hear back from iTunes.
Yeah, waiting
That was
for
a good
the
one.
approval.
That was actually really good.
Yeah, but yeah, so it should be on iTunes shortly. I'm going to upload another podcast tonight, so
Nice.
another one's coming out.
So we're usually going to have video,
Oh, yeah.
audio. So Stitcher, Google Play and iTunes will be the big 3, and then YouTube will be the video version of this.
Yeah, and if you don't have any of the players, like Robert Palafox,
Yep.
he said today, I put a player on keepitsimple.offroad.com and
That's
just go
right.
to the tab, and you can do that on your phone. Go to the tab that says podcasts and look for it there. It'll only hold 20 of them at a time, I think, so
Okay.
anything below that, it's just going to rotate out.
Okay.
So
That might be something we can look into in the future, though.
yeah.
If that's like a data thing or volume or
Yeah, I
who
don't know.
knows?
I don't know. Yeah, who knows? But so it'll be there. Our plan is to release one every Monday.
Yep.
So we got one out now, or we got one out on not long ago, and we're going to release another one back to back, almost.
So right now we're at Tuesdays, but our goal is Monday.
Yeah, I'm going to release one tomorrow, which will be Tuesday. We don't know when this is going out, so that's why this is dumb.
On a Monday or a Tuesday
Yeah, it's going to come out on Mondays. This one will be out on Monday.
or Tuesday.
Monday.
We'll see.
But you're right, because I deleted the video, and sometimes we talk about crap that doesn't have a video. So if those happen, it's going to be just on the iTunes, just as the podcast itself, no videos, no YouTubes. They won't all have that. But our YouTube videos, the stuff we're talking about, the trails, some of the things we're reminiscing about, 90% of that stuff I have video of. And we're
Very
putting
cool.
those as clips into these videos. So if you listen to it and you liked it and you want to see what the hell we're talking about, kick it over to YouTube and check that out too. Then like, subscribe, share, and all that other good stuff. Go rate us on wherever the hell you rate us.
Yeah.
And that's it.
And rate us a lot.
Yeah.
Wherever that is.
Dude, yeah, because the High Sierra podcast, which kicked ass, only had 163 ratings.
Whoa.
That's ridiculous.
Well, we don't know what kind of other stuff they had going on, though. You know what I mean?
Dude, they blew everybody away. And they 163, that's it? I mean, come on. I think I know 163 people.
Do you?
No.
I know, right?
All right, man. Cool.
That's it.
All right, guys. See you. Thanks. Bye.